None of that funny business. What's up, everybody? How we doing? What's going on? Today is what? Today is Sunday already? Taylor, J Fusion, May, father, and mother. Oh, we got a tight crew tonight. We gotta mix up some YouTube juice. Pal, what's going on? This is gonna be the most boring show ever. That's what I think. I think I've had a more boring show. I'm not sure. It is quite possible. We are running. What's up, Adam? We are running with the fan. The printer is a printing, and it gets a little warm in here. What's up, Peter? Northern Reefer. Busy week. Too much work. Worked yesterday. I mean, it's cool. I don't mind working. My mother kept me busy with her phone, helping out a little bit there. What is this? Is this a pencil? Holy crap, it's a mechanical pencil. Nothing too exciting. Just been playing around. Still lightly. What's up, Matt? What's up, Noah? Yeah, cool. So if you gotta help me out. If you don't want to be bored, if you want to be bored, you want to check out and go watch some Falcon and Winter Soldier or something, cool. I wouldn't blame you. But if you have questions, you got stuff you want to talk about, today's the day. May, all I got to hit me up if you're on Instagram, right? DM me on Instagram, or we could also do email. DM me on Instagram, and I can send you the link. Happy to share. In fact, here's an example right here. Oh, I got my hand stuck. That happens. Caught in the cookie jar. Oh, damn it. Fell off. See, it's all fun and games until you just end up with the PVC. So there's two I'll share. I'll share the PVC slip to vortex nozzle, STL, or I will share just the regular modified exit vortex nozzle STL that fits the and I can also include the stupid lock line looking things, fake lock line, right? I mean, nothing to this. How come I can't figure that out? Towards the light, stupid. This is all pretty easy to play with. So, yeah, just, what's up, Bert? So, May, just hit me up on Instagram and I can help you out. Thanks for the help with the Melifix dosing for my torch the other week. Finally found some Melifix. See, that stuff, it's too bad that stuff is hard to find. Does Chewy ship to Canada? Because Chewy's usually a pretty good source. I don't, maybe I got it from there? I can't remember now. Yeah, any STLs I make or modify, like if I go grab something from Thingiverse and modify it, I'm more than happy to both put it back at Thingiverse as a modified thing or as something I will just DM you. I have no problems doing that at all. What's printing right now is a modified, I guess I could show, I thought I posted. Maybe I didn't post? Oh, I totally posted. This right here. See, my mouse is pissed at me and it doesn't want to work anymore. This right here is the old work tank that I've had in my, the room off my kitchen since the pandemic started. And I've treated it poorly, so I wanted to give it a good cleaning yesterday. I thought it was going to have to host another fish. Luckily, I didn't have to. But I wanted to be able to put a whole bunch of new, fresh salt water in a bucket and put the in here. Put this kedsum in the bucket like you see in that picture, and then using just a simple hose and valve control how much water was going back to the tank as I was siphoning out the crap into it's right there, into a filter sock. Right? I mean, you've seen this. This is nothing new. Certainly isn't. Whatever. This is simple. So I'm pulling water out with a siphon, and I'm pumping it back to the tank. But the water I'm pulling out is flowing into a filter sock. So I'm catching all the crud that I'm filtering out of the tank, that kind of thing. Plus, with the addition of the new salt water mixing in with the older, a little bit of a replenishment. Not necessarily a change, but a replenishment. A little bit of stuff. So that worked out pretty well. But the problem I had is the stupid filter sock. I didn't have a way of holding that in to the... I didn't have a way of securing that to the bucket, so I literally used safety wire, some 20,000 safety wire, just wrapped it around it and hooked it on the handle, and it worked just fine. But I wanted a simple way to make that happen, so I printed, and this was on Thingiverse, and I just modified it to make it stronger. Just a hang on the bucket thing. Of course, it would be inside the bucket, but you get the point, right? Just hang it in there. Other people do this too. This is not a big deal, but it certainly worked. I was like, oh, I should do that. So I went upstairs. I found a design, modified it, printed it, and now I'm doing a better one. Hopefully that thing works out. So, let me know. Like I said, any STL that I make or modify, I'm happy to share. It's a hobby. I can give that stuff away. That's no big deal, right? I had to get, let's see. Peter, what'd I miss? Thanks. Oh, yeah, you had to get it off LFS, so they couldn't get it anymore. That sucks. Check and see if Chewy ships to... hey, Chow to Reef Pizza. Is it Chow? I don't want to say Chow. I want to say CC. To the cool shirt. Luca was sporting my shirt the other day, and I was like, his shirt's pretty colorful. I'm going to go get me one of those. So thanks, dude. I'm about to add the newer OR3 blue. Any thoughts if you've seen them? I have seen... What's a sky bar, Bert? I have used the OR2 blue, which is just a 3-watt version of the OR3. Last I saw, the OR3s are shipping with the same power supply, so they're just underdriving the 5 watts. What's a blue sky? Is that a lighter version? Like it's got some white in it? I have not seen them. I'd be interested to see what the spectrum is of those things. Have you by chance seen a nozzle for the 5-gallon jugs? Reef Doink, hit me up. 450 to 495. That's a lot of cyan. It's going to look like Windex. Let me know what you think. Interesting. That'll be interesting. That might look a little... You think my mouse is going to work? Might look a little Windexy. What's up, John? Nozzle for the 5-gallon jugs. Send me a DM. Let me know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry. I think I'm going to have to change my mouse. I'm so disappointed. Let's scroll through the week, shall we? So I didn't... I think I shared this. I didn't finish the battery. But what I did do is order a tester lithium iron phosphate. So this is a 32 amp hour 3.2 volt cell. So I just need 3 more of these with this BMS. And I don't think I talked about this. Sorry if I did. And then I can make a 32 amp hour version instead of the 20 amp hour that's in the battery right now. So, and this also fits better. This doesn't take up anywhere near as much space. So what I'm hoping to do, there were some who expressed interest in this battery pack. I'll buy a bunch of these, and I'll make up a few of those. And if they stay here, they stay here. But if people want them, that's cool. You'll know my cost. So I won't hide anything from you. And then we can go from there. Yeah, a little bit of effort on my part. We'll figure that out. A little bit of shipping. And then we'll go. So I'm looking forward to playing with it. I'm also playing with this. I'm just playing with some 18650s. I don't like these. These are legit lithium, so they're more prone to catching on fire. Actually, they can, where the lithium iron phosphates can't. So whatever. I was just going to build a 14 volt lithium pack just because I haven't done it, and I thought maybe I should. So that's what I got going on with batteries. Nothing new, right? I mean, I ordered the 3 more. Like I said, they're there. Looking forward to that. I added a Ghani, but we could talk about. I don't think I have a picture of it, but this is Mighty Nanotank's old Ghani that was having whatever. I've had this thing in my tank for a while, maybe almost a year, and maybe it has been a year, and it's kind of happy. It's growing. I'd leave it alone. This is New Origin, Jeff Bezos's pretty sweet landing rocket. This is space tourism, which I dig the idea of. I think that'd be pun intended, a blast. Talked about these nozzle doohickeys right, y'all. These are easy to make, and the STLs are free, like I said. Happy to share those buggers. I did a little cryptocurrency stuff, and that worked out in my favor, so I was pretty happy about that. I just want to point out a couple things that are super important to me, and the GHL has helped me out quite a bit with that, is my pH value, paying attention to that. That thing will get up to 8.45, 8.5 regularly. Normally it drops down to 7.9 or 8.0 at night. But then having the KHD hooked up to the automatic dosing, I was able to, and I've mentioned this before, not overdose my tank when I was going through the evil. I still have problems, and I don't know why. But I'll eventually figure out. This is one of these I got to wait for a while and see what's up. Zinnias. Is it hard to ship zinnias? I understand that that's a case, and that's too bad because I kind of dig those things. About a long time ago, I don't know, Mom, how long ago was this? 7 years? Something like that? When the shuttle came back to Dulles Airport. So they could scooch it into the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum over there by Dulles. Fun story. I skipped work and I pulled my kid out of school so he could go watch this. And we were waiting by the airport and we could see it sort of flying around in the background. And I was like, ooh, it's really far away. It's really exciting. Hey, Mom, see ya. So then so the boy and I jump in the car and we start heading out, but they have blocked the exit gate. So I put the top down on the car, and he and I are standing up on the back of it with the top down, and that thing just comes out from behind the trees right in front of us. And that's the Nikon D7000, the old D7000. I'm just standing on a button. I'm up until the buffer filled up, and I got me a good one. I was pretty happy about that. But it was a cool day. That was a fun trip. And thanks to my mom for inviting me out. 3D printing stuff. Mark Rober. I don't know if you guys follow Mark Rober at all. Awesome educator, fun YouTuber. He's the glitter bomb guy. He's the squirrel obstacle course guy. I don't know if you've followed any of his stuff. He's got a kid that's on the spectrum. And he's putting together a fundraiser, or has put together a fundraiser with a whole bunch of cool stars. They're going to be doing a live stream on April 30th. If you don't know Mark, don't know who Mark is, also an old JPL guy. Like, he worked on the rover, the thing that's sitting on Mars right now. Cool brain. A very cool brain, positive dude. trying to make the world better simply by sharing information one YouTube video at a time. And he knows that algorithm like nobody's business. He's crushing it. But check him out. Worth noting. Camp Jimbo. Had a couple drop-offs. Tank coming down for a house move. Local dude. Local-ish dude. Justin. Retired Gunny, if I have that right. He came by in his big pimpin' BMW. He and I got to go find a stoplight one day. I have a feeling I'm going to have him at 30 feet, but after that I might be toast. We'll see. He's got all-wheel drive. I got all-wheel drive. I can get off the line quicker, but I think he's going to catch me. What I want to do is roll down my windows because I think it's going to sound badass. That's what I want to do. That car sounds wicked when he was coming down the street. So something I want to play with. So he dropped off a big old Ghani. Huge. A big red Ghani that's just beautiful. And then he dropped off what used to be Mighty Nano Tanks Space Invader. So it started with Inappropriate Reefer. I got his because it was having a hard time in his tank. It recovered in mine. I cut a frag for Moki and I cut a frag for Ben, Mighty Nano Tank. Grew them out, gave Moki his. That one came back for a little while, but now he's all over it and he's got it. I think once he put the Alcatronic and the Mastertronic on his tank's been super stable, something he's never really had, and I think he's got Dostronic too, which has allowed him to keep these corals pretty damn happy. Well, Moki still has his. Ben's, when he moved, he gave it away, and he gave it to this dude, Justin. Well, Justin's moving, and it's a lot bigger now. It was awesome to see it come back, and it's also super cool to see the difference. I'll post a picture. Actually, I did. The difference between this coral and the parent, the original donor, is the color difference and the growth patterns are completely different. So, whatever's going on in my tank, and then certainly lighting has played a part. So what I wonder is if he has less par, so it reaches further. But it's very cool to see the differences. This thing, I might get to test this. We'll see. This is a... Oops. That's my kid. This is an interesting light. And hopefully I get a chance to look at it. Now look, I'm not Team Kessel. And I'm not Team Kessel. I'm not Team Kessel. Not because of I have issues. I don't have any issues with the light, is what I'm trying to say. It's a cool light. It's a nice light. It's well made. Generally supported really well. I just don't like single points of light that have to beam expand, because if you got to do this to your light, then it's going to do something, and you're really relying on the cleanliness of the glass to bounce that light back. That's not my thing. I don't have clean glass, so I can't do this. So I like larger floods. But this is an interesting AliExpress light that may be a cool filler light that hopefully Jake hooks me up with. If you send me a light, and I've said this before, I'll pay your shipping. And I'll leave, I got gift cards sitting right here. I'll leave a gift card in the box when it returns after I've paid for return shipping. Happy to test lights that I have not tested. So please consider me. I can't buy them all. If they were on Amazon, I would. So this is the original Space Invader Pectinia. And this is the return of Mighty Nano Tanks from back in the day. And it's way different color and very spiky. It's super cool to see how different that is. I don't know. And I talked about this already. See? Hey, May, thank you very much. Maybe I should go buy all the lights. Thank you. That's super cool. Talked about that bugger. Hit me up. I don't know who sells them. Fish a Heck sells these. They're similar. Take a look at Travis. I generally won't. I mean, the shroom saver thingies, I will, because that's not that big of a deal, and it's priced similarly. This is relatively inexpensive to print. I mean, it takes a while, but I guess if people wanted these, I would sell these. Let me know. I'll let you know a price. I'll list it on Instagram if I decide to do that. My mom says 9 years ago the space shuttle flew over, and then I went over to Semper Fi Sea Coral's place. Thomas, and his house is freaking. His fish room down first. His tank it's an 8-foot tank, and it's freaking beautiful. He bought it from the people who do. Oh crap! Now I can't remember. One of the Orlando shops, and Top Shelf. The dude builds tanks for Top Shelf and other clients. Maybe I have the story almost right. Well, this guy needed work during COVID. Thomas hits him up. Thomas buys a tank, flies to Florida, picks up a rental U-Haul, gets the tank in Orlando, and drives that thing back up to Virginia. I have a picture of the tank somewhere, but it's huge, 8-foot big, beautiful tank. Lots of cool fish in there. But this is in the basement below it. And it's an amazing, cool fish room. Hose holder on his. Yeah, Matt, I don't need that. I mean, that's cool. But I just shove the hose in here. And it doesn't go anywhere. I keep this one simple. And that's all I got. Let me look at chat. I miss some people. Bert, yeah, lots of cyan. That'll be interesting. Maybe off topic, but do you think it is worth it to try and revive Old Tonga Branch or Fiji Rock? Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Totally do that. Go get you a 55-gallon brute. Get a heater. Get something to move that water. One of those little sea chays or something, because those are pretty bulletproof little pumps. Because you don't want like a big utility pump sitting there. It's just going to take up too much room. So one of those little sea chays, one of those little AC pumps are great for that. And just bake that rock for whatever. Add Dr. Tim's, one and only, to that bucket. And just let that thing cook there for a while. Just keep it topped off. Don't let the salinity swing too much. There's no reason why you couldn't. I bet that rock would be just fine. Taylor, I have not cultured phytoplankton. I don't use live food. I don't whatever. I tried it and it's just not my thing. I don't know why I need it. If I can just use dry stuff, that makes it easier for me. I mean, even blackworms that I get for the copper band, they're frozen. I just scoop them out with a little teaspoon in a silicone ice cube tray, and I freeze them and turn them into popsicles. Sorry, work. So phytoplankton, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the boat. Maybe there's value to that. But it's just not really my thing. Who has done that? Travis has done that, hasn't he? Fisher Hex? I don't know who else has done that. I'm sure you poke around out there. Anybody be... Oh, Devin. Didn't Devin do it? Reef Dudes? Hit them up. I'm sure those people will hook you up. What's your thoughts on the Petco clam? I thought ultra low nutrients and par from what I saw. It certainly were you thinking low par, Bert? Moki's not shooting a lot of par in that tank. He's relatively low par. Those XR15s don't put out a lot of light, especially over a big tank like that. What's he got, 4? Because you know how I'd like that tank, but I'm stupid. And I also don't think ultra low. He's keeping a pretty good eye on that. I don't know. I'm hoping that he doesn't see any other losses. It could have very well been something that came in with some of the new stuff he had received. Don't know. I would be really surprised, given how well that clam has been living, and then how quickly it went away. I wouldn't expect it to be lights and he doesn't have ultra low nutrients. Great question though. That's one of those things. Hopefully he can pin it. Oh, I can still hear the stupid music. That happened before and I was looking around, right? Taylor, thanks. When I pulled that picture off the camera and then worked it over in post, I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Casual Reefing Mark is awesome. I agree. Mark Rober is awesome. Go check him out. May, you know what's up. That's cool. I'm glad you're excited about that. I was whatever, not to gush over the dude, but I was very happy to see low par. But the thing is, lived in the tank for so long. I was happy to see that Mark shared a little bit of his personal life because, I mean, other than his nieces and nephews, he really hasn't gone there, and it was cool to see. What's up, Thomas? What would cause a skimmer to overflow randomly? I always take the lid off and just let the stupid thing overflow. I haven't dosed anything in a few months. Tried water changes, even changing my carbon every few days, and it just overflows at times. Yeah, are you able to dial it back at all? You're able to dial the air back? If I add something like Melifix to the tank, mine overflows like crazy. Are you dosing anything new? Melifix will make a tank go nuts. Later, Bert. I was shocked how low my par was. When Moki got the XR15s, he hooked me up, and I got to test them. Those are very, the spectrum's nice, but they are not powerful lights. They're generally running 80 or so, unless you get the blues. The pros are probably running 80 to 90 watts. It's not a lot of light. The 15s are, they're low power. That's how they're built. But the spectrum's good, and the spread's good. Uh-oh. A big... why would a big Passalapora die? And you lose the Blenny at the same time. That makes you ask questions, doesn't it? What do I have? I have, when I went and saw Thomas today, Semper Fascicles. What's in here? I have not played with one of these. This is, and I don't know the status of this. Oh, it's super tiny too. And I'm going to have to hit up Lynn and see what's up with this thing. Is this salt or is this glue? But this is a KH Guardian. And I know these pump heads. I know these well. I'd like to know what's in here. I don't know if I want to take this apart since it's not mine. But I'm going to see what's going on with it. I would like to compare KH, alkalinity measurement devices. I think that'd be a fun thing. Like the Alcatronic. And because so many have had good experiences with that thing. And you probably already know that I have the GHL KH Director. It would just be cool to run them like I do all my controllers, to run them all side by side and see what the pros and cons and the whatevers are of all of them. That would be super interesting. This is an interesting device. Hopefully I can get this thing to work. I told you this is rambling. I got nothing. What did I say in the title we were going to talk about? We hit everything. So hang on the back. I tried an air control. I had one of those. Oh, you can't let it overflow. I had a hang on the back. I get it. I haven't changed anything that it does. Stop dosing anything but calc. You're not able to dial that air back, Thomas, to slow that. Interesting. You should be able to do that, right? Barometric pressure can cause skimmers to overflow. I mean, that's an interesting concept. Let me process that in my super old man brain. Huh. It would have to be, it would have to be a relatively severe barometric pressure swing, like a lot, like a big low front comes through, low pressure, high pressure, you would really have to have a swing. And even then, I don't think that's substantial enough to. I mean, what we're saying is we're going to have a low front, a low pressure system come in, which drops the barometric pressure, which allows the bubbles to come flying up. It wouldn't be a high pressure system. It'd only be a low pressure system. So, like if a storm's coming, that they overflow, I'm spending way too much time on this because I'd never heard that before. Low pressure, storm comes in, bubbles more. I mean, I guess. Seems interesting. Josh, what settings do I recommend for the Viper Spectra to grow zoas? Did you de-lens it? And if so, how high above the tank is it sitting? I just a cup up as far as I can go. Oh. Thomas, I'm stumped. If you can't dial back the air to slow that thing down, then I got nothing. I mean, you should be able to dial back the air. What's up, Black Pearl? All right, that makes sense. Okay, what is on the hat? Looks cool. I'm surprised my dad didn't say anything. This is how you know my dad has the channel open and it's playing on one of his devices, but he didn't notice. Bubbles. Nice, Diana. May, this hat it's the breakfast station in Brooksville, Florida. Interesting. There it is. There's a cool breakfast shop in a strip mall that my grandmother has frequented for quite a few years. And when my dad and I were in Florida, what was that? January, February. We ate a lot of breakfast station breakfasts. We would go pick them up. Or one of the people that helps my grandmother would go pick them up, and we would eat, and then while eating we would plan lunch, because that's what you do. And that was more like Linner, so it was always a late lunch, early dinner, and then my dad and I were working while we were there, so he'd go back in the back room, I'd go in the living room and do what we did, and we just sort of hang out. Wait for us to go do something cool, or wait for the next meal, or wait for my grandma to wake up. Josh, I'm going to catch back up with you. Not de-lensed and sitting about 14 inches above the tank. All right, that's cool. So the white on the Viper Spectra is really intense. So, I mean, I always take that thing down to about 1. Just... It would be helpful for you to have a par meter. You're going to have to base it off the stretching of the zoas. If they're reaching for the light, right, they're going to reach up. If they're going to close up a little bit, maybe a little too much light. Remy, Bahama Llama, is probably a good one to ask about zoas. I would set it at 50% blue, 1% white. Let's see what that looks like to you and go from there. I think that's probably a good guess. Parker's Reef YouTube in Australia as a cage guardian did a vid on it. There's a whole lot of casual reefing. Thank you. There's a whole lot of... I was talking to somebody else about it too. I know Lynn liked it. I'm going to have to watch it and pay attention. I have no idea what all these tubes go to, but we'll have to check it out. The filters, there's 3 lines that have filters on them, which I find interesting. Because the KHD, it just draws water from the tank. There's no filter on the reagent container. And then that's it. That's it. New skimmers usually overflow. I thought new skimmers didn't skim all that much. I don't know. All I have is an old skimmer that likes to clog up. But casual reef keeping, reefing, thank you. Bubbles. Thunderstorms in spring or summer sometimes messes with my skimmers. So that supports the whole low pressure system, not putting so much air pressure on the bubbles, allowing the bubbles to... Does that make sense to y'all? Have y'all played with that kind of thing before? My daughter and I, we were lacking substance, but the presentation was beautiful. But we needed to show the impact of barometric pressure on a balloon. So in one day, we drove to the beach. This is out in California. We drove to the beach, and we displaced, with this balloon, we displaced the water in a container until the balloon was fully submerged, let the balloon out, and then measured how much water it had displaced. Then we drove up to the desert, and we did the same thing, and then which is like 3,200 feet, and then we went up to Tehachapi, which was like 5,000 feet, and we could show the difference that the reduced air pressure, the higher elevation you go, the more the balloon expanded, the more water was displaced. I don't know. Should have just done the stupid volcano, but we didn't. That's what we did. Yep. My parents are talking about the hat. That was a cool trip. That was fun. My car decided to take this Route 301 South exit. It was sporting. It was a very interesting. It was an aggressive off ramp, and the car just dove right in there. And my dad and I, actually, we were streaming at the time. We were streaming the Scream because he and I both started yelling because it was a little silly, but that's how we roll. I keep staring at my water box, wishing for better lighting. I have 2 Kessel 180s and a 360. How big of a water box? I have a 180 in the garage. I know what that does. I've tested Lynn's 360. I know what that does. In terms of just too much going on, you mean there's just like too much hanging up there? Or what do you mean, May? Scream like a girl. Black Pearl Reef, interested in seeing what you did with the Kedsum. Reminds me, dude, this Kedsum. There was a couple comments out there, and you know what? I don't blame them, right? But this Kedsum is a beast, a little beast of a pump. Now, you got to use the adapter, and you got to use hose, and I'm using the wrong hose, and I need to be using like drinking water safe hose, but I haven't done that yet, and I'm using a janky valve. But this thing totally works. If you need a utility pump for silly water changes or that kind of thing, all day long, $37. Ain't gonna break. There's people that have been running these things. People have hit me up. Been running these things for 2 years, non-stop. I mean, this thing is, I don't use it all that much. This one, whatever. I'm going to soak this in some salt water, and we're going to see what happens with these stainless bolts on the bottom. But you saw the video on this. That thing is a hoss. I've had a skimmer over a year, and it never overflowed until a few months ago. I wonder if it's something a wife cleaned. I don't know. I don't think so. I'd be surprised if that's what it is. Are there any, like, air fresheners in the space? Or are you using a Febreze or stuff like that? 50.3. Oh, I think you told me that already. I'm sorry. You did tell me that already. I mean, that's a decent sized tank for low par lights. The 360 is similar to an XR15. It's a sub 90 watt light. I don't know. If it is just too busy above the tank, don't do it my way, because I'm going to make it way busier. If you want something cleaner, then you're going to have to go with a bigger light. Have I looked at the Kessel 500? We talked about that, B. When did we talk about that? Last week? I talked about it when I was streaming, when I was getting my second COVID shot. It's more of the same. Kessel makes a good light, right? Quality wise, it's a good light. I am not down for beam expansion, nor am I interested in using my glass as a reflector, and which will happen, right? I mean, when a beam of light hits the water, it'll refract a little bit, but it's going to bounce off the light or bounce off the glass and come back in and help illuminate the tank. Clean glass tanks are brighter than my tanks. But I just don't like that. I don't like the beam expansion thing. Nor I don't like the shimmer. Shimmer's not my thing. I feel like I'm gonna stroke out when I'm watching that shimmer. It's just too much. This one over here, that A80, like right next to me. I mean, that's a lot of shimmer from that single point of light. I don't need that. I don't need shimmer in my life. I just need light. Good light. It can show a little bit of movement, but I don't need it all flashy. That's just not something I need. But the 500 is a high power light. It's intended to compete with the XR30. It'll probably do a really good job. It probably has an amazing spectrum like Kessels do. I'm just not a fan of single points of light. I'm not a fan of beam expanded illumination. I don't like the way it looks. What's up, Tristan? Where you been? No air fresheners in the area. Interesting. I feel it. See, May got 3 of those things above a 50. Yeah, if you added a couple bars, like how like Ryan, BRS Ryan, he's got a whole bunch of A360Xs and a whole bunch of Reef Brights because those are relatively all lower mount lights, and you gotta fill it in with Reef Brights or other bars. He goes with Reef Brights because the 450 and 470 spectrum works, and the spread of a Reef Bright is insanely good. Par is super low, and build quality is super crap, but spread is beautiful. So if you want a light that's built poorly, overpriced, with low par, but wonderful spread, do it. It'll look nice. Or you just grab a couple of AliExpress. Even go custom if you want for way less money and do the same thing. Just a little higher. Just got to mount them up a little higher. What's the pricing for yellow tanks? I would have to look. I know the pricing got a little silly. I don't like talking about the pricing of yellow tanks because it's all greed and it's ridiculous. And it's not like the fish are more valuable. There's fewer. I get supply and demand. I don't like supply and demand. I think it's... I don't know. I don't like it. I'm certainly not going to do it. What's up, Jake? We talked about you. I'm certainly not going to... It's part of the society and it's part of what we do. But that captive bred yellow tang isn't any more valuable than it was before. It's just maybe there are fewer available. People made a run on tangs when the wild caughts were turned off. I get it. I had one in my tank after the wild caughts were turned off, and I gave it away because I just am not interested in. But the guy would have given me money. I know the dude. I mean, I know him, right? He comes to my house, and he'll eventually give me coral back that I've killed, that I've given him. He's just a nice guy. I'm not going to charge him. Here, take this fish. But I'm not going to buy one if it's super expensive just because I can't get them. I already have one in the frag tank along with the yellow eye coal. I haven't looked at the LFS. Black Pearl, back to your question. Sorry, before I went on a rant. There are other tang options that will give you the same thing without the ridiculous price tag. So, Live Aquaria will occasionally have them. Make sure you set yourself up a quarantine system, not to be all bossy, but please quarantine your fish. It's really easy to go to Home Depot, get a big plastic container, get a heater, get a pump, get an air stone and an air pump. Oh. and a heater controller because you don't want to cook your fish, right? Get an Inkbird and just let that thing run. Put it in a spot in your house that you don't go to. You don't need a light. Treat the tank. I mean, we could talk about it because Antonio posted Eat Sleep Reef posted a video today. It kind of sucked out loud for him, but I was going to mention to him that I do use Copper Safe. I just dose this once and I just leave it in there, and I really don't pay attention to the levels. I sort of like 3/4 to a half dose of what the instructions say, but I use Paragard religiously every day, and I also use General Cure. So I will have General Cure, Paragard, and Copper Safe in the tank all at the same time. But I use a big Hoss, the monster truck version of an Airstone, just to make sure I'm moving. What's up, Lynn? Moving the water around enough for those fish to stay alive, if that makes sense. The Philips Coral Care V1, and they are fantastic. Only negative is they're very heavy. Yeah, Tristan, I would like to at some point check out what Philips has going on, and then also ATI. Eventually, and we talked about this a little bit, I think. No, maybe we didn't. Right now, it's just like LEDs, and you put them next to each other. What I'm looking for is micro LED or different kind of illumination that you really can't tell. They're individual little whatever diodes, and it will blend the light a little better. But I do like larger lights that spread illumination instead of that like single point of light thing. Demand and supply. Don't feed the hyper beats. So many other fish. Yeah, totally. So right, Tristan says it. So many other fish available. There are tangs that will do the same thing. What's up, Lynn? I already said that. That will do the same thing, and they're a hell of a lot cheaper. Guess who I saw today? He is shutting down in maybe 6 weeks, and he's wanting normal price for it. What's normal price? Normal price is, sorry, Black Pearl. Is normal price or normal price post shutdown price? So did you ever figure out exactly what happened to your Aquarium die-off? Jake, no. And I think it's still happening. It has reduced. My alkalinity consumption is pretty solid, but I think it's still in there. I'm not done. I don't think I'm done. So what I don't know. Next step is to clean out the sump, thinking maybe something's in there. I also considered cleaning out the fuge. I don't know, so I'm still kind of guessing. I continue to dose EcoBalance. I may up that dose a little bit just to see how the tank reacts. The weird bacteria, algae-looking stuff from the summer has returned. It did go away for a while when I was dosing witch hazel and Melafix. I may throw some Melafix in the tank just to see what happens, because I want to see the impact of alkalinity consumption with Melafix in the tank. That's something I'd like to test. Given that I'm kind of consistent right now, maybe it's a good time to do a little testing. Several other people have tried the method that I use to stop the death, stop the STN, and it has worked for them. So now I just want to go and prove to myself the impact of that process on the tank, on alkalinity consumption. I just don't want to say, hey, go do this, and then it hurts somebody. So far, it's, hey, do this, be conservative, and it has stopped their RTN events or STN events. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work. All I did was kludge together the ideas of a couple other people, and it worked really well. So hopefully it's a combination of those 2 or 3 things that help. And hit me up. If you want to know what I did, I'll absolutely type it out and share it with you. But it really was just Cipro, Melafix. I don't know how I feel about the witch hazel. That may not have done it, but I did Cipro for 5 days straight. And then 5 days later, my alkalinity consumption came back. I would love 2 light max option that covers the tank without shadows. Awesome that you have a QT. 2 big lights over a 50-gallon tank will do the trick. Either 2 Mitras. If you go find some Mitras LX7s used, given that you're running Kessel, you'd probably like the Mitras. Or 2 XR30. Those size. Larger lights, right? 120, 150 watt lights. 2 of those over top of the tank. You could link those together with extruded aluminum, and they would be nice and stable and look like a single light unit. That would work. Be cool to have something like a Kessel T360 mounted to the ceiling 4 to 5 feet above the tank. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Than is running the Orphic version, right? Who is that? Thank you, Anthony. Thank you very much. I'm going to work my way down there, and I'm going to thank you again, but thank you. That's always appreciated. Very kind. Yeah, I don't know. Those big projector lights, I don't know. Maybe they're cool. I did Homo Fish's hybrid tank transfer, and it worked really well. Yep. Tank transfer totally works. It's I suppose it's simple, but it's more complicated than just plopping a fish in the tank for at least a month with a bunch of medication, but it totally works. What do I think of the Matt? What are you asking me? What do I think of the Reef? Is it the Reef breeder lights to light a 6-foot tank? I currently have 8-bulb T5 and not looking forward to replacing the bulbs any longer. Are you saying, did you say Reef breeder? Let me know, because I absolutely have an opinion about that light. Which Reef breeder lights? You're welcome, Anthony. Happy to help. I would now buy the Alley E as they are much lighter. Yeah, and they're better built. Summertime is breakdown time. Most people tend to break down their tank during the summertime. 40 pounds. Do it. 40 quid is a great price for a yellow tank. And if it's happy and it's already eating, even more better, right? More better. Have you tested the newer Max Spec Jump or any of those options? I have not. I don't have a reason to. Damon, thank you so much. See, I like it when I get stuck. When I gotta say thank you, it pauses me. But thank you. That's super cool. So not the bars, not the Reef breeder bars. Have I tested Mac? I don't have a reason to buy those lights. Who had one? Devin had one recently, I think. I can't remember. He's going to give you par numbers. I don't think he has a spectrometer. If anybody has one and they're close to me or they want to mail it to me, let me know. I mean, I'm happy to check out a light. I'm happy to add it to the lighting collective, the data collective. Happy to share that. Anthony, back to you. Thank you so much. Always happy to help. You know that. You don't have to pay me. I'm more than happy to help. As long as it works and you share the works, that's what works for me. Black Pearl, I did. So I do know that Antonio's fish died, and he has not had the best of luck. The last batch he did just fine. This batch he didn't have good luck with, and that totally sucks. General cure for me, I always underdose. Always. General cure in conjunction with Paragard, in conjunction with CopperSafe, has always worked for me. So I don't want to point the finger at the medication because I haven't had that experience. But I will tell you that I always underdose. I don't follow directions on dosing. It's always less. And then I'll slowly, if I need it, work my way up, that kind of thing. Matt, you got me looking. Reef breeder V2. I think, isn't that a big light? Yeah, that's a Photon V2. I think you can get that from... I think if you look, you can find that in AliExpress, that same light. It is a black box with lenses similar to, I have no idea how big this thing is. How many watts? Is it low? Is it like 100 watts? 140 watts. No, it's not low, so it's probably going to be 110 watts at at spectrum if you tend to run a blue spectrum. So you figure maybe it's 140 watts. It says it's 140 watts. I haven't measured it, so I don't know. Probably 110 to 100, probably 110 watts at spectrum. That's an in-between light. That's in between an XR15 and an XR30. That's similar wattage to the super crappy Red Sea 90, because that thing pulls about 100 watts, which is weird. I don't know. 10 whites, 12 royal blues, 8 cool blues. That's a lot of white. 10 violet. Thank you for calling it violet and not UV. It's 420 nanometer. That's good. Green, red. 2 green, 2 red. I would take 5 of those whites and turn them into... Those are 5-watt whites. I'd take 5 of those whites and I would take the cover off and I'd turn those into blues. That's what I would do. I don't need all that white. Yeah, Evergrow in the UK. I thought I saw that. It is $399 for a light that lives in between, but closer to an XR15. So what's an XR15 cost? What did I say, $399 for that? And it's the same price as an XR15. Because XR15 is $420. So it's going to put out more par. The XR15 is going to give you better spread. Probably. I'm just guessing, and I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. If you found that $399 Reef Breeder Evergrow for $300, I'd say do it. At $399, it's in a weird place. I guess that's right. Holy crap, Thomas. Oh, thank you so much. Black Pearl, thank you. Y'all are awesome tonight. Like, you're always awesome, but you're awesome tonight too, so thank you. Always happy to help. Thomas, you know that. I'm always happy to help. Just hit me up. You'll end up with a little bit of crazy old man Jimbo. You know how I am. But I'm always happy to help. See what I can do to. Maybe you can be successful when I'm still screwing up. Because I still don't. I don't have control of that tank yet. What else we got? We have been going for about an hour, and I have absolutely talked about everything that I was going to talk about. Lynn, if you're still on here, I'm going to hit you up. Because I don't know what all those are for. So I wanted to, I guess I'm sure there's instructions. And then I'm going to plug this in and see what it does. Do you have to calibrate the pH probe? I'm sure you do. This is an intriguing device. And then you got to tell me what's wrong with it. What a decent light for a 10-gallon softie only. First, Anthony Rodriguez, are you near Baltimore? What's a decent light for a 10-gallon softie? Do you want a light that you can upgrade with, like when you're done with your 10-gallon softie tank? Do you want a light that you can take with you to your next tank, or do you want a light that you will just then sell? Answer that. Thomas, thank you again. Black Pearl, thank you so much. Something is wrong with it. You know me. I don't mess with it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, something's wrong with it. Small Nicor. You think? I think it always comes down, for me, it always comes down to yeah, maybe. For me, it always comes down to what do you want to do next? Do you, the Nicrew works. That's a good light. What did I test? The 100-watt one? Yeah, I did. I'm printing 90% infill, and it's going to take it 19 and a half hours. If you want, sorry, wandering off, squirrel. If you want a light, like I said, that you can grow into later, Noob Psych. If you want, because it'll cover the 10-gallon just fine. You can turn it way down to give you the lighting you need. If you just want a light that will light the 10-gallon, and then that's it, like you're going to keep that light over the 10-gallon. If you upgrade to a larger tank, you're not going to take it with you. Jake's totally right. The Nicrew, the small, the 50-watt, or the Pixie, which is like a 30-something watt. I don't have that data on me right now. Oh, yeah, I do. Both of those will do just fine over a 10-gallon tank. I am checking my notes to see if I can get it to pop up real quick. Not that one. Not that one. See, I'm just going to fumble through it. I'm not going to be able to find it real quick. Oh, there it is. Pixie 30. Channel 1, 3, and 4 at 100%. Channel 2 up 3 ticks is pulling 21 watts. And at 24 inches above the par meter, it was reading 73 par, which isn't bad, but it's not good. So like I said, that's a 21 watt. Maybe you want to get a 50 watt light. Maybe that'll help. What y'all want to talk about? What else you got? We got 48 people on here, and that's actually pretty damn good for a non-giveaway night. What should I give away next? I should give away a battery. I'm not sure I want to do that. Let me think about that. I could probably be convinced. Shout out again to Luca. I mean, I paid for my own damn shirt. Reef Pizza. I like that guy. I don't understand a damn thing he's saying. But when he speaks English, I totally understand him. He's got great English. How are those Noops? I thought about trying them. See, here's where I have a little bit of problem. Noops are beam expanded lights. They are similar lens and matrix to a Kessel. Yet, for the price, I really like them. The spread was decent. You're going to get shadowing, but the spread over a 24-inch square was pretty solid. So, I like it. How are those Noops? I have thought about trying them. So, J-Fusion, I got one from this dude, K. K was awesome. He sent it to me. I paid shipping. I gave him a gift card on the way back and paid shipping back. I really like that light. You got to buy the remote. So, you got to buy the light and a remote. Then you can run like 9 of those lights with the same remote, something like that. I may be getting that number wrong. Lynn knows. Lynn, let's talk. You're always awesome with your corals, and that would be an incredible giveaway. I'd like to do something in conjunction with that, if you don't mind, because you're always super cool about that. If anybody wants cool corals, go see Lynn Reef Nerd. Check her out on Instagram. She's got amazing corals, and she's better at this than I am. Way. Thank you, Diana. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's valuable information, but at least it's, I don't know, maybe it's interesting. I don't know. It's slow. But thank you. That's cool. Battery Casual Reefing says, battery, do you have any recommendations for UV brand? Looking to get one. I have crap. What do I have? I have the Mean Green Killing Machine. I have a Jimbo, and I have something in my garage that I got for $20 when I bought a chiller from a dude. He's like, give me $20 more, you could have this UV. I was like, okay, I'll take it. It's big. It's got a big power supply on it. I don't even know if it works. As for what brand, I don't know. Yeah, I saw that, Jake, that you won that Noop. That's super cool. Actually, it's a really nice light. That's cool that you won that thing. I would go find somebody who knows what they're talking about, because I don't, and I'm absolutely going to go with a cheap one until I learn my lesson. So like I said, there's a Jimbo in the garage that I haven't plumbed in yet. I'm still considering doing it if I rearrange some things, but how the Noop compared to the Vipers? I like the Noops better than the Vipers. So I measured spectrum, par, and spread as well as wattage, because I think that's important with both of those lights. And the Vipers were my pick until I tested the Noop. And once I tested the Noop, it's my top budget pick. I really like the way that light looks. I like the spectrum. It doesn't have the silly whites that the Viper Spectra has. Viper Spectra is a great light. It'll grow coral. But I would, if I had a choice, similar wattage as well. If I had a choice, I would totally buy the Noop. Just for time how I upgraded 20. Just for the 10. So there you go. Jake already hooked you up. Jake knows. I would go with the Night Crew, because you could use that probably more later down the road. The Pixie is a little underpowered. So take a look at the Night Crew 50 or the Night Crew 100 watt. All you really need is the 50. Andrew, Lynn can grow some corals. And she's a connoisseur. She's got this sweet collection of almost any damn thing you want, and they're all cool. One day when COVID's over and she secures her hairy animals that don't want to bite me, or that do want to bite me if I'm close, I would like to see Lynn's crazy setup that I've seen only in pictures. Taylor wants some of these. Yeah, you're Australia, right? If I remember right. Yeah, but you guys have, you walk outside and you're on Australia. So there's there's pros and cons. There's some trades. I run a 55 watt Jimbo UV and I like it. There you go. Some people have a problem or a question or a whatever about maybe the longevity or build quality or survivability of the plastic under UV. I don't know, and I can't speak to that. I'm sure there are good quality UVs out there. I've looked at them. They seem really expensive for what they are. A lot of them probably come from the water industry. We got a nice one at work. Don't know. It's kind of interesting. I just don't know. I don't have the experience. So I haven't bought a crap one and gotten pissed at it, then bought an expensive one to understand the difference, if that makes sense. I just steal people's corals and take pictures and return them. Yeah, but what does that mean about the pectinia I've got in my tank? I didn't steal that. I got to grow that thing and give you a huge chunk of it back, right? I'm going to steal a little piece of it and grow that out. All right. Just like happy hour on Friday, it's a one drink evening. That's all I got. 3D printing stuff. Hit me up. I'll give you the STL for free. Always will. Which I will regret one day. And then if you need me to print something stupid, hit me up. If you want one of these to hang off your bucket while you're filtering out your business, let me know. I don't think it needs... It's solid. It's very sturdy. I think you'd have to work pretty hard to break this. And I had to look pretty hard to find this filter sock to do what I needed to do. As always, if you want to slip, vortex nozzle, STL. I'm not going to print these. Not yet. I may one day. I don't know. Or a Lockline version. I will share the STL. Happy to do that. Don't get to grabbing on. This one's actually different. See, I punched this out a little bit so I could add the slip, add the PVC. Don't grab really hard here because you could snap this sucker off pretty quick. I need to add a little structure to make that a little tougher. You know what you need? If you have one of these and it's mounted too close to the surface because the Venturi action is sucking too much air in the top, let me know and I will create a top blocked Venturi vortex nozzle so it won't pull, as long as you rotate it correctly, it won't pull air in from the top. I've seen that to be a problem. Lynn, you want a bucket thingy? You get a bucket thingy. If that's what you want, you get. Dad, I'm excited to see that little twin rotor Yahoo fly. That would be amazing to see some footage. I really hope they don't crash that thing. The blades are huge. The blades are big with a very steep cut. It's interesting how they had to modify whatever. We're used to flying here, right? It's interesting how they had to engineer those blades to handle the thinner atmosphere on Mars. That's pretty exciting. Hopefully they get that figured out. Hopefully it flies. I want them to fly it, take some pictures, and land it. And then go crazy with it. Then go drive it like you rented it. That's what I want to see. Sitting on a kangaroo to get to work isn't bad. So you had to go there. I've seen those kangaroo videos where that kangaroo had that dude's dog, and that Australian dude, of course, because that's how y'all roll, runs up to the kangaroo and punches it in the face. Of course that's what you're going to do. You're Australian. I've seen the movies. That crocodile guy, he was no joke. Thanks, Dad. Tristan, I have a D&D Aquarium Solutions UV. They are mid-priced, and you can easily get parts in bulk. There you go. Tristan gives you your answer. D&D. Can we get that here? I think so. Carbon tray for the top of my Red Sea SK300. Andrew, if you can point me in the direction of an STL for that, then I can help you with that. If you don't have an STL for that and you need me to design something, you design it because that'll be quicker. If I need to design it, then I'm going to need dimensions, and I might get it right the second time. Just keep that in mind. Tristan, DM me on Instagram, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you any of these STLs. Happy to. 46 people. Great googly boogly. That's right. That's not a knife guy. He was wearing weird clothes, wasn't he? He's so manly. All right, y'all. 11 likes. 48 people. I'm not going to beg for likes. Should I? That'd be kind of odd. Throw me some subscriptions. Throw me some likes. Say Lynn's Insta. Oh. Lynn, type your. Actually, it's right there. It's Lynn Reef Nerd, all one word. Check her out. She's awesome. Lynn, you type it, and then DM me if you want one of these bucket doohickeys. All right, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you hanging out. Really, really, really appreciate the donations. That's really cool of everybody. Thank you so much. I had zero clue what I was going to talk about tonight, so really appreciate your questions, your engagement. I'm looking forward to finishing this stupid thing, which I haven't had time to do yet. And this is still running on those 2 lithium iron phosphates that I stuck in there, and it's just fine. It's been charging the whole time since we did it. So hit me up if you want to upgrade one of these. Because I'm thinking I can turn, this thing ships with an 18 amp hour lead acid battery that weighs as much as a small child. I can, That's 18 amp hours. I can turn it into 32 amp hours lithium iron phosphate for a relatively low price. So if that interests you, let me know, and I will order some cells. Cool. Lynn.reef.nerd. There you go. Selling all Apex and going GHL. You won't be disappointed, Jay. You won't be disappointed at all. I think it's different. It's just different. It's not harder. It's not easier. It's just different. But it certainly is reliable. I can give it that. All right, y'all. Roger that, Lifey PO4 Life. Thank you so much. Thank you. As always, I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you. I appreciate the engagement here, Instagram, whatever. I like it. It's fun. As always, happy to answer your questions. Remember, it's coming from me. I'm just a reefer. I'm a dude. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to make stuff up. I'm going to point you in the right direction. I'm also not going to round up. If I see crap, I'm going to talk crap. That's just what I'm going to do. And thanks, Dad. The only thing Jack will think is, why didn't I switch sooner? All right, y'all. Have a great night. Have a great week. As always, I hope your families are doing well. I hope you're doing well. Still crazy, but getting better. And really looking forward to getting back together and seeing some peeps check out Remy's. Check out Bahama Llama's latest video. He got invited to be a speaker at Reefapalooza in June. I'm not going to, not Reefapalooza, Aquashella. Oh, I said it wrong. He's speaking at Aquashella, which I think might be a cooler show. I've gone to a Reefapalooza, and I'm like, it's a Reefapalooza. It's just a bunch of vendors talking about their stuff, looking at my pretty stuff, whatever, and then there's people getting drunk. So Aquashella seems more like put the drunk in front with some trippy lights and have more of a good time. Well, that's where Bahama Llama's going to be speaking. Florida, Orlando, June. Check that business out. Remy's a cool dude. If you're going to be around that show, find him, give him some elbow, and tell him he's a good man, because he is. All right, y'all. Like I said, I hope you're well. Take care. Happy reefing. Be kind, everyone. Thank you. This is the awkward time where I have to fumble through and end the stream.